Anong sabi mo?
Kumusta ako?
Eto. Pagod.
Antok! Ay,
Hindi na naman pasado.
nakailang revisions na, hindi pa rin pumapasa.
Kailan ba matatapos to?
Ubos! Lutang!
Blanco na ang utak ko. Dami nilang gustong mangyari eh.
Matatapos ko ba to?
We hear you. We know what you're going through. We feel you. It must be very hard for you. We understand you. You do not have to be sorry for what you feel. We are here for you. And we have something especially crafted for you. A night for creative artists. Let this be your safe space. Take time to pause and breathe. Listen to the stories of different artists who share the same realities as yours. If anything, we want you to know that you are never alone.
Hello creatives! My name is Johnny Sorena and I'm a graphic designer and art director based here in the Philippines.
Hi everyone, my name is Ayla. I grew up in Manila and I currently live in Auckland, New Zealand.
Hi, my name is Aza Lorena. I'm a graphic designer and a digital illustrator.
I am Carissa Roque Magdiray. I am a wife and a servant of the Lord.
My name is Maria Micaela D. Pazan. Please to call me Mika. I am a Catholic creative and currently a student of theology majoring in social and pastoral communication.
My name is Reg Silva. I'm a former agnostic and now I'm a Catholic artist.
Hello, I'm Vanya. I am a full-time youth campus missionary, a singer-songwriter, and one of the vocalists of Feast Worship.
And I also serve as a mission volunteer for Mission Studios.
Illustrator, painter, and I draw comics for my Facebook page, Real Life Reg.
I love reading, writing, speaking, coaching, and creating religious beautiful crafts.
And in my spare time, I like doing all things outdoors, like camping, hiking.
I'm also running a Catholic graphic design blog called Catholic Hack.
I believe I've found the way of beauty when I was still a kid, when I was still a child.
I discovered my passion for music. Well, at least my love for singing first. Back when I was in grade school, I think I was 7 years old then.
I would always volunteer when there were class projects that would require editing posters and videos.
And I think in high school, I just really fell in love with music, even if I just, writing in my room by myself, showing my songs to no one but myself.
But what I knew is I love beautiful things. I just love being around beautiful things, just love looking at things.
In 2016, I began to go on more walks, more hikes, and I liked watching sunsets and taking photos of them with my phone.
I romanticize the sunset, the sunrise so much.
So it was then that I decided to buy my first entry-level camera, and thanks to YouTube, I was able to teach myself the basics of photography.
God was so generous with me. He allowed me to go to the States and for a week learn from Bill Donahue himself about how can we contemplate beauty and what is beauty in the Catholic sense.
That was enough to spark the desire for me to pursue these passions.
I started as a graphic designer for a small marketing company. It was tough. I got schooled, but I learned what I needed to.
That's when I started to watch video tutorials and research design inspiration.
It was also in college while I was waiting for graduation where I had my renewal, Catholic renewal, in the Feast. And that's where I really was just overwhelmed with the love of God.
I think that's how God pulled me towards Him. Through art and my mom, who said that I should attend prayer meetings since I don't have religion classes anymore.
I realized that As I go deeper in my relationship with God, the more I became more appreciative of what is beautiful too.
All of a sudden, I had this direction from the Lord to go back to my art, but I had no idea what to do. And so I would be praying to the Lord often, Lord, tell me what to do.
I realized that because I experienced God through beauty. And with those experiences, I was also inspired to use beauty in my own mission.
It was then and there that I knew that this is where I belong. I want to be a Catholic creative. I want to share this beauty to other people.
In 2018, God prompted me to use my passion for photography to give. It's no longer about the likes and the followers, and it's no longer about me.
I started my own art page called Ace Makes Art. It started as a pandemic hobby where I just wanted to learn digital illustration.
I started a small online religious shop named Totus Tu's Devotions, and I created handmade rosaries.
He called me to offer this page to him by making others feel his presence through the art that I create.
Real Life Reg started out as a silly personal project where I draw my jokes and some other funny things that happened to me. But when I grew in faith and service and when I found Christ, I saw its potential for evangelization.
So after a season of discernment, I later found out that God was calling me to minister to people like me, to connect with fellow Catholic creatives here and commune with them.
But I didn't want to do it in a preachy and imposing way. So what I did was I drew and wrote about my experiences with the Lord, my realizations with Him.
So I started a blog called Catholic Hap, in confidence that this isn't my mission, but His through me.
By God's grace, I produced calendars showcasing His beautiful creations that I captured through the years.
I kept on singing until I eventually led worship at the feast, and then after such time and much patience from God, I started to share my songs to other people.
Proceeds from the sale of my project went to community groups in the Philippines that provide support to children's education, financial aid to homeless people, and families affected by the typhoons last year.
After learning about the theology of the body, the way of beauty, I partnered with our community so that we can share this with more Catholic creatives and inspire them and let them know that beauty is a way to God.
I love that as I create more and more, I also unravel. And I have to tell you, it's not a pretty process. It's so hard.
As any artist, I also struggle with finding the right posture of heart when creating. It's not every day that I'm overflowing with love and creativity and inspiration.
Meron ding times na nawawalan na ako ng gana mag-edit at nag-edit na lang ako just for the sake of doing it. Pero parang wala na yung puso.
I went through 4 to 5 years of artist's block upon my conversion to Christ. I had lost my passion for art. I didn't know what to do with my career.
I think my biggest struggle as a creative and in everything I do, even as a servant and as a human being, is my pride.
You know, there's that fear. I'm thinking, what would others say? What would others think? Would they be able to relate? Would it be worth it?
I constantly struggle with my self-image or my self-quote-unquote branding. It's easy to get clouded by what's trending, and frankly, Catholic inspiration or Catholic content is not mainstream.
Nung nag-lockdown dito sa New Zealand, nag-start na ako mag-worry, magkaroon ng doubts. Paano na ako makakuha ng pictures na gagamitin ko sa calendar ko? Kung bawal lumabas, anong gagawin ko?
For the past 4 years, I was able to write 4 manuscripts, but I'm not able to publish any of them.
Honestly, when my page went viral, I felt like I had been given a responsibility that I did not entirely want, to be honest.
I had to deal with grief and loss, and it was difficult to have hope for the future. It was a time where we lost my father to cancer, and at the same time, we were losing many different members of the family as well.
During that year that I went to the States for TOB was also the same year when I learned that my mom had cancer. And months later, my dad passed away, and also my mom, after a year, also passed away.
My family and I really went through a tough patch, and like I said, it was hard finding hope for what's to come.
So in a span of 2 years, my journey to beauty was overshadowed by grief.
With all the mess, with all the ugly things that I see in myself, I feel like I'm so ready to quit.
But I make sure that I tell myself and I tell other people that in those down moments, what's important is that we find the courage to ask for grace and stand again on both feet.
I thank God that when I'm in those moments of shame and brokenness, He really just overwhelms me with His love and kindness. And it just really makes me want to respond in repentance and just like a deeper sense of worship.
The best lessons that God has taught me and God is still teaching me until now are about trust and humility.
I felt a deep peace and relief that I was doing what the Lord had wanted me to. And even though I did not know what would come next, I had to trust Him for the next steps.
God helped me to overcome this struggle by reminding me of my big why. Sabi niya sa akin, Ayla, bakit mo nga ba ginagawa to? Para kanino?
All that I have right now are just gifts from God. It means putting aside all my conveniences, my preference, putting aside my ego, and just trusting.
So kahit napapagod, push lang. Just keep going. Keep moving forward.
The Lord ministered to me by finding myself among missionaries. I ended up going to events, missions, field trips, all with different people. And it was through these encounters with these people, these missionaries, that I genuinely encountered Christ through them.
It made me realize that, hey, you have the heart of an artist and you're being called to share this to other people.
And that experience pulled me back, and it inspired me to start to trust the Lord more and more.
If I trust that He calls me to a mission, then I ought to respond to that. And I ought to trust that I can create something good and beautiful out of what He has already given me. I need to trust Him that He will turn my water into wine.
And that was when I realized that beauty does save.
Friends, if you discover an artistic or creative calling from the Lord, let Him minister to you.
I know that God is right beside me. He's always here reminding me na whatever happens, andito lang siya sa tabi ko.
In times of creative dryness, depend on God, who can take your desire for beauty and make it something amazing.
And when I get tired, I just need to ask Him for strength. That strength that only comes from Him.
Before I'm able to share this beauty with other people, He's filling me up again with that beauty.
God continues to just encourage me to show up. Just show up and continue to create with the intention to love, no matter what it looks like.
I'm honestly really shy and introverted, and it's a constant struggle for me between wanting to be anonymous and versus, being out there and having my work out there. But I cannot hide or suppress this passion, this zeal I have for the Lord.
In these moments, the Lord reminds me of my true purpose in creating, and it's not to serve my satisfaction in the attention that my work gets, but it's in knowing that the work that I do is a reflection of how good God is in my life.
I realize now that my art and my plans for my life had to die in order for new dreams to be born, to make space for God's plans.
I think God has made me see that there are so many of His children who are so desperate and so thirsty to encounter the love that God has to offer.
It was a joy for me to learn that art has a place in God's plans, and not just for ourselves, but for the benefit of others and for His kingdom.
I'm grateful that I can capture His beautiful works of art through my lens, share this with others, and point them to the one who created them all.
And when we get the chance to grab the hearts, the eyes of those people, we also have the chance to share the beauty of Christ.
Trust in His ways. He will equip you and sustain you. He's making beautiful things in you, and He will make beautiful things through you. I am Johnny Isorena, the media missionary behind Katolikha.
I'm Vanya Castor, a media missionary, a musician and a songwriter.
I am Ayla Matencio, a media missionary and a photographer.
I am Carissa Roque Magdiray, the media missionary behind Totus Tuus Devotions.
I am Azel Lorena, the media missionary behind AIDS Makes Art.
I am Micaela Pozon, a media missionary of Mission Studios.
I am Reg Silva, the media missionary behind Real Life Reg, and I have found God's light in my life
Through my artistic vocation.
By responding to His call, I have discovered God's greater mission for my gifts and passions.
I am grateful to be entrusted
With the light of Christ.
And I commit to share this light to others.
You have your own reality, and you are fighting a battle that not everyone knows. But here you are, still going on. You're not stopping, confident of His love, convinced that you're made for a purpose, that you're a beacon of His light.
Art taught me to face my personal darkness and help me find my way to the light.
Art helped me to acknowledge my insecurities. I have gained more confidence by beginning to love what I create.
Art helped me to discover my faith and led me to find meaning and purpose in my life. I have found greater joy in glorifying God through the work of my hands.
Art gave me an avenue to express myself. Now, I'm using it to communicate Christ to the world.
Music helped me to identify my wounds and pave the way to my healing. Now, I create music to help others heal.
Writing made me fly, swim, walk, run, and travel to places I've never been. It made me chase more dreams.
Photography gave me a safe space to see the world in a different way. Through the photos I take, I help paint a world filled with so much beauty.
You are God's beautiful creation. You are meant to live for so much more. You are gifted with skills and talents for a reason. Here's a letter for you that holds true, in season and out of season.
My dear artist, I am yours, and you are mine. I know you, and I see you. You are my echo in the world, You mirror my image in every inspiration, in every creation. You are a gift, my masterpiece meant to craft something beautiful and relevant. You have a gift, an expression and disclosure of your unique existence and being. Unrepeatable, only one in the whole universe. Yours is the noble call to communicate goodness and beauty. A divine spark destined to burn bright and serve, that all may hear and see, that all may remember me. Do not let your heart be troubled. Do not grow slack in zeal. Continue seeking the hidden meaning of every mystery. Continue thriving in a world full of indifference and uncertainty. Return to your inner core. Remain and listen to me. Allow me to reach out to you and stir your creative power. Allow me to awaken the energies of your mind and heart. Allow me to fill you, that your light may shine beyond. Let us dream of the future together. Let us transcend the finite. Let us save the world. One creative inspiration at a time. Love your creator.